Hey everybody, what is going on today? Welcome to the channel. Today we got the feature premiere for Diamond Dynasty. It covered all of the features and the new features because it is the biggest changes they've ever made to Diamond Dynasty. I'm going to talk about it with you guys, go over all the highlights that they went over in the feature premiere. But first, you guys do me a favor, as always, make sure to smash that like button for me. Subscribe down there to the channel, man. Subscribe. Make sure you got those notifications on also so you guys always know when we're live here on the channel. Most days at 10 a.m. Central, you can find me live right here on YouTube, as well as having shorts and videos and all kinds of content and tips and stuff for you guys throughout the year, showing you how to get all of the cards in the game for free without ever spending any money. I got you guys covered for it. Let's go ahead and hop into all of these changes. We're going to cover a lot of things, man. We're going to cover seasons and squads. We're going to cover captains. We're going to cover wild cards. We're going to cover DH, the new changes to mini season, and more. All right, let's go and hop right into it. All right, you guys, so I know there's a lot of these changes. We heard the little tease about a couple days ago here on the socials, and you guys have been wanting to know about them. We got the details on all of it today. One of the big changes this year, the first big change is going to be day one 99s. Now, everybody kind of panic. Don't worry, it is going to be still a grind for these day one 99s, but typically how we've had to go about it is we've had to wait throughout the year to get some of these 99s until later on in the year, once the teams are more established. They kind of do a slow build with the cards and with the content. No longer is that the case. All right, we're going to get the best 99s from day one. They're going to be available in rank seasons, in BR, in events, all that stuff as rewards. All right, so you're going to be able to earn 99s day one right from the start. All right, one of the other big changes is squads, seasons and squads. All right, let's talk about that real quick. All right, so as the season progresses and as the year progresses with MLB The Show 23, there's going to be different sets and different seasons. Once a season starts, it could last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. It could be different just depending on how they decide to lay it out. And each of these seasons is going to have different sets of cards that are released as rewards throughout it, all right? As well as your core cards. Now, your core cards are going to be made up of live series cards, live series collection rewards. I believe they also said the Negro League players will be in there, and as well as a couple more, but they haven't told us. They're kind of keeping that a little bit of a surprise here for us. So that's pretty cool, man. You can kind of track this very easily because cards that come out as season one will be set one cards. Cards that come out during season 2 will be set 2 cards. Cards that come out during season 3, you see where I'm going with this. All right, that's going to be set 3 cards. All right, so they're going to mix this up as the year goes on, and you'll be able to use different seasons and different sets during different seasons throughout the year with your cards and with your squads in ranked and mini seasons and conquest. Those are going to be the 3 modes that you're really going to have to focus on using these in. BR is not changing. Events are going to be, they're going to have some of these apparently in events, but most of the events have specific kind of requirements for those events and for your squad individually. So pretty cool stuff. Let's go ahead and expand on it a little bit more though. So as you guys can see right here, the seasons will change depending on the different sets that are available for them, right? So that first season, it's going to be like set 1 cards. That'll be the cards that are available for rewards and stuff at launch. New cards and stuff that we're coming out with, maybe some new legends as well. Your core cards will be available in that. Season 2 might be an example of set 1 and set 2 combined, so there'll be a little bit of overlap. You'll also be able to use your core cards again, and I go back to that. That's those live series collection, live series cards, Negro League players, and some more added on there. Season 3 though might have an overlap then of set 1 getting removed, but set 2 still being in there, set 3 being added to it, as well as your core players too. All right, so a little bit of a recap here on how seasons and squads is going to work here in the game in MLB The Show 23 this year. 99 overall cards will be available on day one. Multiple 99 overall cards on day one, by the way. It's not just going to be one. It's not just going to be a couple. It's going to be lots of them available through all of the reward paths, all right? Season 1 might be set 1. Season 2 might be set 2. Season 3, set 3. That's how they're going to all come out. So as the cards come out during those seasons, those will be the numbered sets that they will also be from so that you can use them in your squads. And again, here's a little breakdown of the modes that they will be available in as far as the seasons and the squad sets. They will be available in ranked. That's where it's going to be the main focus for them. Events, conquest, and mini seasons. Sometimes it just depends on the scenario. We'll talk about that a little bit more here as we get into some of the highlights here of the feature premiere. Battle Royale, play versus friends, play versus CPU, and casual head-to-heads. You will not have to deal with this at all. So you can use whatever cards you want in those throughout the year. All right, so moving on to our next topic here throughout the stream, designated hitter, the DH is available all throughout Diamond Dynasty. All right, you're going to be able to use it in all the game modes this year. It is just the same exact rule adaptation from Major League Baseball. You guys that got to play the tech test, we played it here on live streams over the last week. That was also included in that and in all the game modes. So we know that that is a big feature going forward here in MLB The Show. All right, you guys, let's talk a little bit right now about captains and how this captain feature is actually going to work throughout the process of building your squads, because it's going to be actually very imperative to the way you build your squad so you can use it to get the most amount of boost out of your cards and all of the other cards for your squad too, because these captains are going to boost other cards on your team as well. As we take a look right here at one of the examples of one of the new captain cards added here for the game. This is a Miguel Cabrera card right here. He's got him as a DH. This is a captain card. They're going to look a little bit different. You'll notice here on the card art. And what you want to pay attention to is these tier boosts as far as these captain cards go. Depending on how much of the criteria you meet with your squad, you're going to receive tier boosts for the rest of your squad, all right? So right now, if you were to put this Miguel Cabrera card on your squad, and you were to also have 5 other hitters from a Detroit Tigers team on your squad, or any of the Tigers cards that they have in the game, all of those cards on your squad will receive a +5 to their contact versus lefties, a +5 batting clutch, which comes in handy with those runners in scoring position, and then a -5 fielding ability. So if you notice that, that's a little bit of a plus-minus you're going to be dealing with right there. Kind of like attachments in maybe say a Call of Duty or a first-person shooter game on your weapon. So you're going to deal with positives and negatives depending on how much you get. And if you can get to that tier 3 boost, that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck out of these captain's cards. When you get to tier 2, if you happen to have 8 hitters, I think it says 8. It's kind of small. Maybe it says 8 hitters from, it's 8 hitters from the Tigers on your squad. Miguel Cabrera will, and him at parallel level 1, you will receive the boost that it shows there on the screen for tier 2. If you have 11 hitters from the Detroit Tigers on your squad, including your starters and your bench there, you'll be able to get a boost right here at tier 3 with these. Now, where this comes into play and where it's really cool is actually on these team theme based squads, because usually in the year, if you were to use a Tigers theme team, maybe in October, November, December, and try to go into ranked or something like that, you're not going to have a great overall for your team, all right? But if you've got a Tigers theme team and you've got this Miguel Cabrera card as your team captain, you're going to receive, if you've got those 11 hitters, a +10 and +15 to power and contact, plus a +15 to your batting clutch for every player on that team. That takes cards that are maybe unusable at that time of the year and makes them a little bit more usable, or just usable in general. So I think we're going to see a lot more diversity between our squads just as a result of something like this being added this year. Now, one of the questions you guys might be asking is, will there be pitching captains? All right, there's going to be hitting captains and pitching captains. You're going to be allowed 1 hitting captain and 1 pitching captain on each squad that you build. So you'll be able to have 2 captains on a squad. One will control the boost for the hitters. One will control the boost for the pitchers. The different variables as far as what the requirements are to reach the different tiers will change. They've also said that there may be ones that are specific to the card style too, to the actual card. So like we might have milestone tier-based ones. You might have boosts and tiers based upon if you're using cards from the 50s and 60s together, as opposed to like newer legends and things like that, or live series cards or something. So you can build squads with a lot of different options, and these captains are gonna give you and provide you with a lot of different boosts throughout the year here in MLB The Show 23. Here's a perfect example of one of those kind of era-based captain cards in Willie Mays right here that I was just talking about. This one right here, if you have 3 hitters from the 50s and 60s on your squad, then you'll get these boosts. If you have 5 hitters from the 50s and 60s, you'll get those boosts in tier 2. And then in tier 3, if you've got 8 hitters from the 50s and 60s, you'll get more boosts. So they said, make sure if you got feedback on this throughout the year, they're gonna be messing around with it. We find something's a little bit too OP or something, then they might dial it back and change the tier 3 boost or the tier 2 boost on it. If they find that certain particular captains are getting used more than others. I assume that might possibly happen. It's kind of like build outs, like I said, again, in Call of Duty or something like that. You've got specific weapon build outs that are better than others. So I'm sure these are going to become a factor as the year goes on, and hopefully they get it fixed and it's not that big of a deal. Now, another interesting thing about the captains is if you want to sub your captain out after the first 2/3 of the game, you can. But if you sub them out during the first 6 innings, actually, it won't even let you sub your captain out during the first 6 innings is how it's going to work. All right. So if your captain's on your squad, let's say that Miguel Cabrera card or that Willie Mays card is in your lineup and you start with him on the team, you're not going to be able to take him out during the first 6 innings. That way you can remove him though in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. But that way, if you do that, all of your cards on the team, because you started him in the lineup, they will receive the boost that you have accordingly, depending on how many other requirements you meet compete for those boosts and whatever tier that you're actually at. But the first 6 innings of a game in a 9-inning game, you will not be able to remove them. It won't even allow you to substitute them. So you'll have to get to that 7th, 8th, or 9th before you want to make any changes to your squad like that. So like I was just saying a minute ago, if you do want to remove those cards or substitute them from the game, your captain card in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, the attributes boost remains if the captain is substituted in the last third of the game. So if you remove them at that point, all of the guys that are on the squad that you already have building up like that theme squad of whatever type of cards they are, they're still going to receive those boosts for the remainder of the game. Now, another thing you might be wondering is, are we going to know when we load into a matchup against somebody if they've got captains on their squad and what boosts they have? Yes, you are. So here's a lineup screen as you load in right here. This person has Miguel Cabrera factored into that 5th slot in the lineup there. And if you notice, it says what the tier boost that that team is going to receive throughout the game is. The +5 to the contact, the +5 to the batting clutch, and then the -5 to the fielding ability. So at least you'll know right there going into the game what your opponent has and what you're working against. All right, you guys, let's talk about Mini Seasons 2.0 because this has me quite excited here about Mini Seasons and the direction they're headed with it. I know a lot of us wanted maybe some longer games. We're not going to get necessarily longer games or longer seasons this time, but there's going to be different options for seasons. You're going to have theme seasons, stat tracking, and awards, custom away stadiums, which is pretty cool, and a revamped UI, which looks way cleaner than it was in the past, all right? So what is mini seasons? It's just a mini season. Really, it's 28 games, mini season. You make it to the postseason, make it to the top 4 in the standings, and you'll make it on to the postseason of that mini season. It's one of the most played game modes I have ever played in this game. I absolutely loved it last year. I think it's going to be huge this year for rewards and all that stuff for everybody. You can kind of tell, get a little preview of what the UI looks like here, and it does look a lot cleaner, so I think that's a great step forward too. Now, some of the ways they've changed mini seasons, and you're getting a better look at some of the UI right here as they're kind of moving through it. Some of the changes they've made to mini seasons are going to be, like I said, these away parks that are custom stadiums. Those are they sound pretty cool. They said stuff with like pyramids and crazy outlandish looking stadiums and all, which sounds really cool to me because we get tired of the same old stadiums playing over and over again. So I think that's a great addition that they're going to have right there. The theme teams and theme squads, there's going to be multiple different types of mini seasons that you can kind of go through and play through at it. So you can use sets and seasons in it. They're going to be added into it. Those sets and seasons cards that we talked about at the beginning of the video here. And as far as that works for ranked season, that's how it's going to work in mini seasons also. But you'll still be able to play the classic mode and be able to use your cards as well. It sounds like there'll be multiple different options for how you're going to be able to approach mini seasons this year. No longer games and no longer seasons than 28 games. You're not going to get like more like 6-inning games or 9-inning games or anything. But a lot of cool changes are coming this year, and I'm excited about it. All right, so one of the last things they talked about is ranked co-op. All right, and we know ranked co-op this year actually has a reward path for it. So you guys can actually work with one of your friends or work with 2 of your friends, build a squad, and go ahead and go through the ranks and compete to be able to get these rewards. You'll all get these rewards if you make it here. So that's pretty cool. Now, it is the same rewards from the regular ranked program, but it gives you a second opportunity to earn those same cards. Let's say you're a World Series player. When you play solo ranked, you can also go play co-op ranked, and you can get through that. There is also going to be a specific program for ranked as well. So you can actually earn the peak rewards 3 times every season. So that's pretty cool, man. It's a lot of ways to make stubs, and it's a great way to be able to get the cards. They're really trying to make sure that everybody can get any of the cards they want in the game for free just by playing the game. That's a big thing that SDS always focuses on, and nothing has changed here in 23 as far as that goes. Now, one of the crazier things they mentioned, and I think this is great, I hope they kind of implement this somehow into ranked seasons, just solo ranked as well. But inside of co-op ranked, there is now going to be a cooldown penalty. If one of your teammates is maybe just a random and they just quit on you. And I guess in last year it would exit you out of the game completely. Now it's not going to do that. It's going to just change and adjust the lineup so that you if you're on a 3v3 and one of your partners there quits, one of your teammates quits, the 2 people can go ahead and continue the game. That person though is going to receive a cooldown penalty. And the more and more you quit, they are going to stack. So you might have to skip, and I believe they said up to a week you might actually not be able to play in ranked co-op. So that's kind of crazy. I hope they do something like this to make people stay in games a little bit longer in ranked and solo ranked. I'm not sure if they're going to, but it's an interesting concept, and I'm curious to see how this plays out this year with the community. All right, you guys, the final big thing that they touched on this year is at the end of featured programs. Featured programs is something that a lot of us would finish. A lot of us would finish way too early, maybe a week or 2 before the season would actually be over, and we'd have to wait for the next feature program to come out. We wouldn't be earning any of that XP No longer is that the case. Now you've got an infinite loop of XP. It's going to actually spin you through this every 25,000 XP you get. You're going to get a random choice of one of these. All right. So it's going to give you a random one that it selects you. You might get a ball and is a habit pack. You might get a ball and bundle. You might get a 50 pack bundle. You might get 7,500 stubs, but you're going to get something. You're going to get something. So the more and more you play, you're going to keep getting rewarded here in 23. And I think that is a huge step forward for the game, because a lot of times after we finish some of those programs, we don't feel like we have anything to do for maybe a week or so. No longer will that be the case. You'll still be able to earn rewards, and I think this will keep people playing and coming back to the game for longer this year. All right, you guys, so that pretty much wraps up the Diamond Dynasty feature premiere. All right, so there's going to be a separate one for content as well. Here's the remainder of the schedule for these feature premieres, and each week I'll have a highlight video showing you guys exactly what they covered. I know not everybody can get to their live streams in time. A lot of people at work or school or whatnot, so I'll have these little breakdowns for you guys every time that they do one, showing you guys. The next one that we're going to get is actually going to be on the let's see, it was the 23rd was today. I'm sorry, for Diamond Dynasty. Next one's going to be on March 2nd for Road to the Show and more. I don't know what more is, but we'll find out then. On the 9th, we're going to have Franchise March to October, a presentation and commentary one as well they're going to do. And then on the 15th, they'll have the dev tournament. And then on the 23rd of March, they'll have the live content Diamond Dynasty stream about that. So we'll find out a little bit more about what's going to be available to us on launch and everything. So pretty cool stuff. At the very end, though, they did announce Team Affinity is returning in MLB The Show 23. So you guys, I know there's a lot of people that are going to be happy about that. Team Affinity is coming back. I don't know how it's going to be coming back for sure. They'll probably show us more during that live content stream. They're on March 23rd, the day before the early release. I think that's when we'll get to see more about it, but really cool stuff, man. I'm excited about a lot of this. I know change is not always a thing that people look forward to, and it's a little bit different and difficult to cope with, but a change in Diamond Dynasty was needed. We pretty much get the same thing and the same process every year since 16. All right. And so I think that introducing some of these things is a great step in the right direction. We've got to evolve the game, right? We've got to evolve the game and make it and keep it fun for everybody to keep coming back and playing throughout the year. We don't like to have these fall offs at the end of the year where nobody wants to play. So we have these changes implemented this year. I hope it's for the positive. I think it's going to be. Everybody just hang in there, give it a chance at the beginning, and we'll get you guys taken care of for how to get through all of it the easiest, fastest, best possible way here on the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe down there to the channel, man. Subscribe. We are approaching 15,000 subs. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are incredible. Make sure you got those notifications on so you can catch me for a live stream here most days, 10 a.m. Central, right here on YouTube. Thanks, everybody. Peace.